This is something I'm doing mainly because of allergies, but I also think that there's a lot of problems with our food system and with the habits that we've developed around that food system for consuming that food that I want to reassess. And this detox takes into account all of those things. Hello, hello, all those beautiful faces. My name is Stephanie Edmonds. Welcome to Teaching Liberty. To live free, you have to think free, and that is exactly what we do here on this show. And as you can see, I am standing once again next to a large hunk of meat. So that means it is time for an update on my 90-day carnivore diet detox. If you missed my first video, you can check it out by clicking the link right here, or I have it down in the description below. In that video, I talk about why I'm doing the carnivore diet and get started on my journey. In this video, I'm going to give you an update. So let's go ahead and get this meat in the pan to start searing. Of course, we are going to use our Queen Bee's Pharmacy tallow, friend and sponsor of the show. You can use my code TeachingLiberty to save 15% off your tallow, which is essential for a carnivore diet because we want to do everything in animal products. But yes, use my code, save 15% off tallow and all the other amazing stuff that she has in her store. And let's go ahead and get this meat on the oven and get to the update. I'll tell you all about how it's going. Get it on there for about 2-3 minutes. All right, and while that is going, why don't we get a little update? But first, got to do that good YouTube stuff. Oh, do you want to say hi? Say hi to my son. You've been doing a little carnivore diet with me? Yeah, a little bit. He is definitely my meat eater. Yes. Right? He won't even eat his carbs like naturally. He's like not into the potatoes or rice. Although if they're French fries, he'll have the French fries. or mac and cheese. So, but definitely everybody in the family is getting more meat from this diet. But what I was saying was make sure you hit that like button. If you are just finding your way here, which I know a lot of you are from the carnivore diet thing, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I talk about my carnivore diet, one thing, but we do all things liberty and free thinking on a variety of subjects. So check out my other videos, and it's good to have you. Welcome. All right, now we got that in the oven. The sizzle is not such a factor over here. Let's talk about how the last 3 weeks have been. Well, I would say really just the last week I've been 100% carnivore. The first 2 weeks were transition weeks, though I was eating 90-95%, even more carnivore. I had a little bit of alcohol. There's a few events. And then I also had some cravings I gave into. But for the last week, I've been 100% carnivore and feeling good. Transitioning over to a new diet, of course, you get the sugar cravings, the carb cravings, just the desire for different foods. I would say that's sort of been my biggest struggle, is the lack of diversity. You know, the meat is good, steak is good, you know, ground beef, that's been sort of the main meats that I've been eating. Then some fish. You know, you can get some of the smoked salmon that has a little bit different consistency. But what's really been saving me is eggs. Because, you know, you can have the eggs scrambled, you can have fried eggs over easy, and that just, it adds a little bit of diversity, a little bit different texture. I would say definitely missing the diversity of foods. You know, not even just the sweets, but, you know, seeing people eat sweets can sometimes be a little difficult. But it's just, yeah, not being able to have a sandwich, right? Have different textures. It's sort of all one note. However, I would say that as the days pass, those cravings get less and less, and I've seen results, even in just this short period of time, with that transition period not being 100%. I have definitely seen results. I've definitely dropped a couple pounds. Can't you tell? Here around my chin, am I looking better? Also in my allergies. I was taking my allergy pill every day, and if I didn't take it, I would have an allergy attack almost, on that 24-hour dot, sometimes at 20 hours. But over the last 3 weeks, after the first few days, I was like, all right, let me test it out, let me see. And I was good. Now, I have had a couple of allergy attacks, and in response to that, I'll take a Zyrtec, and it helps bring me down, or helps bring down the swelling and and not have to be sneezing and itching my eyes off. But it's not every day, like happens if I don't take my allergy pill before this, basically every day. If I didn't take that allergy pill, I would start to get itchy, my histamines would start going. So that is a big difference, even just in this short period of time. And that has really helped just push me through that transition period where I was experiencing some of those cravings and desires. And I would say actually social situations for me have been the easier time. It's like when I'm on my own and nobody's watching, where I was like, ooh, have some of this or some of that. Because like when I'm out with, I'm on a special diet, and everybody's been super supportive and interested in learning more about it. And, I, of course, don't present it in extremist terms. I don't present it as in a one size fits all, or as everybody. I'm not pushing it on people. I'm saying, hey, this is something I'm doing mainly because of allergies. But I also think that there's a lot of problems with our food system and with the habits that we've developed around that food system for consuming that food that I want to reassess. And this detox takes into account all of those things. Another thing about this is that the prep is just much more streamlined. At the beginning of the day, I take out a couple pieces of meat, let something defrost if it needs to, but basically it's bacon and eggs in the morning. I do ground beef either in burgers or as, chopped up, like taco meat style for lunch. And then for dinner, I'll have a steak. I did chicken one day in the crock pot. I'm doing the big tri-tip now, so that'll last me a couple of days. But really, I can just cook a bunch of meat and eat it throughout the day, throughout the next day. If I'm on the road, I can pick up a pack of lunch meat or lox, smoked salmon, something like this. So that's been, and that was sort of why, one of the big reasons that I chose, say, this diet versus what I did last time, like a Whole30 diet, is because all I have to do is cook some meat. And everybody in my household are big meat lovers. My son doesn't have to eat vegetables at dinner one night because I didn't get around to cooking them, and he just has a big hunk of meat. He's cool with that. Oh yes, there was one more thing that I wanted to mention. In that transition period, I could definitely feel my energy source switching over from the carbohydrates, from the simple sugars, right, that quick energy, to using the ketones, I believe. Maybe I have my science wrong there. I don't know. Fact check me in those comments down below. I'm giving you the very simplified version of how it works, but I could certainly feel it switching over, and my energy levels were low for about 3 days. I was just feeling kind of tired. I took a couple, like an afternoon nap, and went to bed early and kind of slept in. And I could definitely feel sometimes, just like a few mornings where it took me a little bit to get going, but I kind of pushed through that. And since then, I've been feeling pretty good, as long as I make sure that I have eaten, right? Because I can feel my energy levels dip if I haven't eaten as well. Other than that, everything's been pretty good. I'm feeling good, feeling strong, feeling motivated. Not having any issues in the bathroom, like that was a smooth transition. I know some people had asked me about that. I was like, oh, TMI. But yeah, no, I mean, everything's pretty good in that department. You can certainly tell the difference between a bowel movement before, much larger, to bowel movements now, much smaller, more compact, a little darker. So that's all I'll say on that subject. I'm sure if you like type it in, there's like tons of videos with people, doctors going into that stuff. But here, just going based on sort of the high level, this is my experience and some basic things that I've learned. Again, my plan is to do the full 90 days. And right around that time, I start to get my farm share. So I think I'm just gonna go until the first order of my farm share comes. I know that these are local vegetables grown, I mean, they don't claim the organic label, but they don't go around spraying things unnecessarily. I know that they're grown with love. And so those are gonna be the first vegetables and other foods that I start to test out once I am done with the detox portion of things. So I'll do another one of these updates once I've been actually on the carnivore diet, going 100% for some more time, because like I said, really only this last week, the last week of 3 weeks in total, has been 100% carnivore. Already feeling the differences, but it's a long journey. I'm sure there'll be some other ups and some other struggles and some other things going along. As always, let me know your thoughts in those comments down below. While you're there, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new, finding your way here, I know the carnivore thing is trending right now. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I talk about carnivore and many other things about living free and thinking free, because that's what we do here on Teaching Liberty. My name is Stephanie Edmonds, and until next time, think free, live free, give all the glory to God.